Now, we wanted to start today by talking about something very, very important. Of course, around this time of year, it feels as though people often get sick more, or there are lots more challenges health-wise. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for any eventuality. For that reason, we have Dr. the Most Honorable Corey Forde, Director of Clinical and Diagnostic Services at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, joining us this morning to talk a little bit more about preparing for the holiday season. So good morning to you, Dr. Forde. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. It's a real pleasure to be here, and I take the opportunity to wish our Barbadians season's greetings, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. I don't expect to be on in the near future, so Happy New Year to everyone, and I hope that that the year coming will bring lots of blessings to your life.
All right, that's beautiful stuff. Now, the National Blood Collecting Center has relocated to the QEH Belleville Annex.
Yes.
And we want to take the opportunity today to encourage people to get out and give blood. Why is it important for people to give blood, especially at this time of year?
I'll tell you something. First, I'd like to say that I just want to congratulate and thank all the members who are involved in blood collecting at the Blood Collecting Center. And they have moved as we try to do some remediation in the building which they were at, which is really right there next to the St. Winston Scott. They've moved over to the Belleville Annex. Blood donations at this time of the year obviously fall off. People are busy and they hustle and bustle, but what I would tell people is that this is certainly a general need throughout the entire year. So I'm not asking people to run down to today or tomorrow or whenever to try to give blood, but to remember that during this period, you know, there's some people sometimes who are irresponsible sometimes, or sometimes accidents happen and people may require blood, and if the levels are not up to scratch, within the facility, then obviously that impairs, you know, what we can do certainly to prevent deaths in individuals. I just want to encourage Barbadians to do that. To donate blood is like a gift. So people wrap gifts in a present. This is a different level of gift, not only for older people, for younger people, for kids who may even require blood donations. And really anybody can attempt to give blood donations. Of course, there's screening processes and there's a whole platform of things that will have to be gone through. But we just really would like Barbadians to really consider this, especially at this time of year. We often see a fall off in people going to donate blood, but also we'll take the opportunity while I speak to thank all of those who are regular blood donors. And it's good to know what your blood type is. That's another thing, another way of figuring that particular part out, because all blood types are not equal. And of course, there's some people with some very rare blood types that you like to know who is your friend on island that can donate if you wish to have donations. But as I say that, I think I need to probably say as well that people enjoy the Christmas season, and so to be responsible in their eating and responsible in things they do, responsible in their drinking, because we often find a lot of accidents, et cetera, on the road resulting from these sort of events. And I really want to encourage Barbadians as they go through this holiday season. There's a lot of excitement on the road, and I said on my Instagram recently that, you know, as we really go through this particular period, I really hope there not to be a lot of violence and anger and those sort of hostilities we were seeing earlier during the year, but to really work together as a people during this particular period.
Absolutely. Are there any special requirements or restrictions when it comes to giving blood? I know, you know, we hear all types of things. There are lots of myths and so on going around. So what do we need to know?
Well, there are generally lots of myths. There's a general tick sheet that the guys certainly will go through. I would say always before you do something like this, obviously consult with your good regular physician before you donate. Obviously, if people's blood counts are originally low or they have certain infectious diseases, they wouldn't be allowed to donate blood to the facility. People often talk, you know, say, look, if you have tattoos, you can't donate. But of course, it has to do with relation between tattoos and some infectious diseases as well. So there are many different parameters. Some people may have some blood diseases which may not allow them certainly to donate blood. But the best way to find out if you can be a donor is to attempt to do that. So I advise you can call, certainly in the hospital, call the blood collecting, you know, and find out their need. And I think you should really go based on that at this particular point. You're not asking for people to rush to go to donate blood at this point, overwhelm our system. And we have particular opening hours, as I'm sure you will kindly share with the public. But again, this is a great gift for Barbados for you to give to somebody you might not even know. And you know what? You might end up saving their life. And as I believe in life, is when you do something good for somebody, it will come straight back at you, but in another corner.
All right, so remember, the National Blood Collecting Center has relocated to the QEH Belleville Annex, located at the corner of 6th Avenue over at Belleville. So it's Monday to Friday, 8 to 1:30, 8 a.m. to 1:30, and Saturdays, 8 to 11. So remember, as we approach the busy holiday, you want to make sure that you go out in the early and give blood. Or the number there, 436-6450, that of course is the QEH, but you can get them at 6343, 6343. Another major thing, Dr. Forde, is the medication delivery service, which a lot of people depend on, and has become, one of the bright sparks of the hospital. That is being suspended over the holiday service,
Yes.
holiday season. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I think the home delivery system was really a unique thing that came about during COVID, and thanks to my colleagues at the hospital for really pushing that during that period, fellow directors. What I would say is we're suspending, I think, from the 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're giving people the opportunity, obviously, to send in their online prescriptions or their call prescriptions, and to try to get them to people by the 23rd. This is a brief suspension, and then that we'll pick it back up after. Of course, we're going to have a lot of stuff coming. I always want to encourage Barbadians, don't wait to the last minute. There's one thing about us, we're usually last minute people. Don't wait to the last minute to have this done, but to really, get in your orders so we can get them to you in a timely fashion. And I just want to also take the opportunity while I'm at this, is for all of you who may not know about the home delivery system, I can't understand how you wouldn't know, to really sign into this. And it's very helpful, especially if you're busy at work. You have to get your medication for your grandma or grandpa or auntie or what's not. You can get that medication delivered right to your doorstep for a real minimal cost by the persons who are supplying it. And the hospital doesn't gain financially from it. But of course, people have to deliver. They will have minimum cost. I think it's about $10 or so.
Are there any alternative options for people who depend on the delivery service but need it for the holiday season?
Yeah.
They want to get ahead.
Yeah, so the QH pharmacy will still be open up to that period. So they still have access there. So there's no denying of access at all to any health care. But I think it goes back to the point that I always make, that everybody has to take responsibility. You always say this every time we come at this show. Sound like a stuck record. You have to take responsibility for your health. And I think part of that taking of responsibility is also people recognizing, don't wait to the last day of medication, or don't wait to really order ahead. It's really a 3-day period. So it's certainly not that great. But of course, we've already gotten a lot of orders, and people have recognized, obviously, it's going to be a holiday, as it is. This is nothing abnormal. During holidays, the same thing happens, but we really want to break the floor because it's like 2 days or so that they may be impacted. So we thought it would be reasonable to remind people to do that.
Absolutely. And talking about kind of getting ahead of things and staying responsible and not taking everything at face value, last time you were here, someone took a video of you here,
Oh boy.
and they added a voice and put some serious disinformation out. It's downright criminal. And the video has been shared around on social media. So, like, as you mentioned, there are some people who don't necessarily look behind because they see technology and they think this is as it looks. It must have been quite alarming for you to see something like that. First of all, it was talking about you have a remedy for some NCD or something like that.
Yeah, for hypertension. What I would say is I at the time, especially with my sister, who actually called me. I was in South Africa, and she tracked me down. Internet there is not great, but she tracked me down and said, hey, there's this thing. And I'm like, I have no idea any about this. I really want to dissociate myself on this program with this. And I recognized that they actually used a clip from Mornin Barbados and EI. And I think you might think my concern might be one way, but my actual concern is actually for the the elderly people or older people or people who suffer with hypertension who might say, oh, look, Dr. Forde is saying this or is this product, and I can put my credit card in and purchase. Let's be honest with you. Anybody who knows you, that's my major concern, is for those individuals not to be caught up by this. And I use the opportunity to tell Barbadians, you've got to be careful. Go back to your primary physician. If somebody's trying to sell you something and it sounds odd or you're not sure, go back and speak to your primary physician, that person who knows your hypertension levels, that person who knows been managing you for many years. Please go back to those individuals, those healthcare personnel, and get the appropriate advice as to whether some of these products are there. This is one of, I believe, many things that may happen across the system. It just happens to be, I just happen to be a doctor to be
all right, so let's look at the video, and I'm going to teach you something production-wise. If you look at this video, you'll see that if we could put the audio in, his lips are not going at all with what
listen to me until
you are
the end,
hearing.
because in just
so
a minute,
if you look at the video,
I will tell you about a method that eliminates hypertension at
you can
home
see
in
his
just 30
AI.
seconds.
The lips are moving,
By using
but
this simple method at home,
it looks
you will be able
weird.
to
So you have to
normalize
question
your
these
blood
things.
pressure once and for all, and never worry about it again. Lead an active and healthy lifestyle without restricting your diet or activities. Forget about the consequences of hypertension. They will never affect you again. Spend quality time with family and friends, enjoying a full life. Stop wasting thousands on ineffective hypertension medications that only harm you. According to research from the University of Cardiology, the truth...
Okay, so if you look at it, you can see, first of all, the accent is all wrong. So if you see something and it doesn't seem right, you definitely want to look into it, but that is definitely not Dr. Forde's voice.
And that's crazy. What I would say is if I did research for 25 years, I probably started primary school, give it a break our age. So that's actually, but you know, like I said before, my heart, I feel very bad about it. I know these things will happen, and you know, they can happen again. But I'm just really want to really tell Barbadians, it might be this, it might be something else. To please be careful with these sort of things online. They're going to become more and more prevalent, especially in the era of AI.
Yeah, just be observant. If something looks weird, because that looks incredibly weird, don't just take it at face value. Your final message, I know that we have a challenge with NCDs in Barbados, and at this time of year, people tend to overindulge. So your final message to Barbadians as we go into this final weekend and into Christmas 2024.
Okay. My final message to persons is, it may be 2 or 3 days where you're saying, oh, it's just 2 or 3 days. Don't forget your medications, to take your medications, because people forget about medications around Christmas. Be smart in how you indulge. You can be happy, you can make healthy foods during the Christmas period and still do well. Watch your diabetes control, watch your hypertension control, and of course, after the Christmas season, don't forget your friendly follow-up with your regular physicians. This is important because all of this impacts what we might sometimes see in the emergency department, a flood of strokes, a flood of people with heart attacks. These sort of things often happen because people go a little bit above and beyond, and we really encourage people. That puts pressure on the system, which is already pressured. So I really want to encourage them. And then the other part, which people don't talk about a lot during this period, is don't forget Granny. I know, you know me, Granny and Grandpa, because some of them may have dementia, some of them may not be there. Don't forget them at home, you know, and forget them. Make them be a part of the whole process of your Christmas celebrations. Like, people sometimes become enticed with themselves during this period and forget about giving to others or helping others around them, even their own families and people in their neighborhoods. Look out for each other during this period. That's my final word.
All right, well, best wishes to you as well, Dr. Forde. Thank you for coming in and sharing with us. Remember, blood donation services available Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., and then on Saturdays from 8 to 11 o'clock. And they can answer all the questions that you want by calling the main PBX at the QEH, 436-6450. The extension is 6343. Give the gift of blood this season.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.